The history of the United States has been much dependent on immigration starting in the colonial era. Between 1607 and 1790, about 900,000 immigrants came to the colonies and set up the foundation of the U.S. The first successful colony was at Jamestown. Although the Englishmen faced hardships in their early years such as disease, famine, and Indian attacks, they endured, which sparked mass immigration from Europe. Later immigrants included Pilgrims and Puritans fleeing from religious persecution who settled in Massachusetts, Africans who were brought to America first as indentured servants, then as slaves in the 1680s, as well as Quakers, Scotch-Irish, Germans, Dutch Swedes, and French Huguenots. One difficulty that all immigrants faced was discrimination, which continued through the Gilded Ages. Between 1840 and 1901, immigration was classified into two main groups, Old and New. Old immigrants, who were mainly Protestant farmers, came from Northern and Western Europe in small numbers. They mostly spoke English, allowing them to assimilate easily to America. Also, they were well educated and were used to democracy, so many were politically involved, like protests against the Know-Nothing Party. New immigrants were mainly from Southern and Eastern Europe and Asia in large numbers, and were factory and construction workers. They lived in ethnic communities in the cities, which slowed assimilation of the American culture. The flood of new immigrants caused resurgence of nativism, or anti-foreignism. Nativist sentiments originated in the 1840s and 1850s with the old immigration of the Irish and Germans. Nativists feared the new immigration because they were a threat to America's culture and values. Although many of the new immigrants came as birds of passage, or those who were planning to return home after enough money was made, nativists still feared them. The nativists formed the American Party, which later became known as the Know-Nothing Party. It was established in 1849 with the notion that all the immigrants moving to the U.S. took jobs away from the hardworking American workers. However, the Know-Nothing Party did not last. Millard Fillmore of this party ran for president and lost the election of 1856. In 1860, the Know-Nothing Party fell apart. In 1882, the Chinese Exclusion Act was adopted, which banned Chinese immigration. Americans and even the old immigrants feared the Chinese would take everything from the struggling workers. This fear later became known as the Yellow Peril. The Chinese immigrants worked at a low price and for longer hours, scaring workers and thinking that the Chinese would take available jobs, leaving Americans ruined. During the time of the Chinese Exclusion Act, the Chinese were brutally attacked, beaten, and imprisoned. The act lasted until 1943 when China became an ally of war. The Chinese Exclusion Act was only one of the first policies adopted to restrict immigration. After World War I, the National Origins Act of 1924 restricted immigration by establishing certain numbers of immigrants allowed from a specific region of the world. There was bias towards the Northern and Western European nations that had been the traditional areas of immigration during the old immigration era. The National Origins Act of 1929 further reduced the number of immigrants allowed into the U.S. to 150,000 per year. With the tremendous increase in immigration during the Gilded Age, the immigrants brought many different cultures to one place. The melting pot theory is demonstrated by e pluribus unum, the Latin phrase on the American penny which translates to out of many one, or in other words, many cultures coming together to create a single new, unique culture. However, this was not the reality. The process to achieve a true melting pot includes assimilation, or the act of bringing into conformity with the customs and attitudes of the nation. It was particularly difficult for the new immigrants to assimilate because many felt no need to do so since they were not planning to stay. Also, it was hard for them to assimilate because few spoke English and they came from varying religions and cultures. Unlike the melting pot theory, the salad bowl theory focused on the mixing of cultures from immigration, but keeping their own identity and complementing each other. This theory, also known as pluralism, was more successful since the diversity of a nation's ethnic cultures contributes to its strength.